Australia is known as a country of diverse people and backgrounds, and diversity has become a very important part of the Australian workplace. But what is diversity? And how does it affect your work? Let's see what it means for us. How diverse are we? As an example, in Sydney, 38% of people speak a language other than English at home. About half have both parents born overseas, which also means that only a third have both parents born in Australia. But is there more involved with diversity? What is diversity? At its simplest, it means anyone who is different to you or anything that is different to what you know and do. People living in Australia come from a variety of origins, and this contributes to our mix of cultures, lifestyles and outlooks that make Australia an interesting and vibrant place to live and work. Fairness is considered really important, and we all want a fair go. And so, we do the same for others. But diversity does not just mean a person is from another country. A few examples include people who are older, have a disability, have a different religious belief, a different lifestyle choice. This means that we need to be patient and respectful of people around us, not only customers and clients, but also our fellow workers. Our responsibility is to respect and include these differences so we can provide the same level of service and assistance to all people. This includes the way we treat the general public and also our work team. For example, do you adjust your communication for people with limited English? Do you focus on differences or on helping people? How are you working with diversity? What is expected? How can diversity help a team to succeed? Well, everyone has different strengths, so diversity makes the team well-rounded and more likely to be strong in all areas. Age, for example, often brings experience, stability, reliability. With gender, for example, female guards and cultural or language abilities in our team enable us to better assist a variety of people. Our fellow employees include Indigenous, those who have come for humanitarian needs or protection, those speaking different languages and so on. All are welcomed as part of the GLAD team. In fact, we want more diversity in the workforce, for example, by hiring more women in security roles. Now, let's look at what laws exist in Australia regarding how to treat and respect others. For example, the Racial Discrimination Act, the Disability Discrimination Act, and the Sex Discrimination Act. What are some of the main objectives of each of these laws? First, the Racial Discrimination Act. This law states, in part, it is against the law to treat others unfairly because of their race, colour, descent, national or ethnic origin, or immigrant status. For example, imagine two men from different ethnic groups working together. In their country, people often make jokes about the other group or even fight against them. But now, they need to learn to work together and cooperate without insults. And now, the Disability Discrimination Act. This law states in part to eliminate discrimination against people with disabilities and to promote community acceptance of people with disabilities. For example, meet one of your team, Naomi, who worked for GLAD at a Westfield site. She's pictured here with a helper and Joe, one of our trainers. Notice how happy she is. Working with diversity is about giving everyone a fair go. Third, the Sex Discrimination Act. This is intended to promote equality between men and women, stop discrimination on the basis of sex, marital status, or pregnancy, and eliminate sexual harassment. What does this include? It includes hiring and paying people based on their skills, and again, respecting and working together to get the job done. It is also important we understand that disabilities are not just physical. It's a common mistake to think a person has a disability only if we can see the problem. While a physical limitation may be obvious, however, we need to also recognise that disabilities can include a person's mental or emotional health, but they can still have productive and enjoyable lives. If we do not recognise mental illness, we may sometimes mistakenly assume the person is rude, angry, or doesn't like us. Yet it could be that the person struggles to communicate because of their mental health. Since mental health is a big concern across Australia, we need to be prepared to assist both the public and our team members. What do you need to do? Whether they work for GLAD, are a customer, client, or general public, treat everyone with respect. Regardless of whether you agree with their lifestyle, family background, what they look like, or what they're doing. Treat everyone with respect. Okay, so here's some things not to do or say. Don't stereotype people. For example, don't group people together just because they come from the same country. Don't insult or intimidate people by our words or actions. Sometimes we can make people feel bad even without meaning anything bad. Sometimes even without saying anything. So don't say or do anything which could be harmful or disrespectful. Don't use slang or old expressions. For example, don't say deaf and dumb, but say hearing impaired. And remember that likely a person with hearing difficulty has no intellectual disability. A person may have a common disability, but the consequences of a disability can vary considerably from person to person. And of course, don't physically handle anyone. Certainly, men would never hit a woman, and you should never forcibly handle anyone. What should you say and do? Promote the people first concept. Don't say the disabled person, but say the person with a disability. Focus on the person first. Don't focus on their disability or support equipment. This means we accept people with disabilities as individuals. We really listen to what people say and speak directly to the person, not to their carer, interpreter, or someone else. Focus on the person first. Okay, so here's the summary. Respect all sorts of people, regardless of who they are. Be ready to help everyone, including your work team and customers. Be careful what you say and do, and make people feel good. Really, empower people with what you say and do. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to complete the short test below. And one last thing, we'd love to hear your comments. So send us an email to remember@learningsphere.com.au with your thoughts.